Hello everybody, my name is Marco and today I will give you a quick overview of Lead Duo 1, mainly focused on the software side and functionality. You can find a detailed hardware overview on one of our other videos on the YouTube, but still I can give you a very quick summary here also. We've been waiting for this moment basically for 4 years, so we are extremely excited. The device comes in this protective storage and carry case. It has a loop so you can hook it on something inside your bag. It's pretty simple. You take the device out. Here it's stored a very nice lanyard that you can also adjust the length, and you can also put in additional batteries if you want. About the device itself, when we began design journey on this product more than 4 years ago actually, what we wanted to achieve was robust device, intuitive functionality that can be controlled with a single hand, tactile user interface that can be used with, thick working gloves, and extremely robust build, and that it is all in one. So you can see that we are using CNC milled aluminum housing and anodized laser marked marking. We use a special type of hardened glass that it's impossible to scratch. See our other video for that demo. 2-inch display, no touch, and very intuitive buttons, high click force, very clicky, and the back itself is also extremely tough. When you hold it, it fits perfectly. It has good weight also, and we did a lot of drop tests. This unit has been now dropped more than 40 times in different occasions. Here we have a hook for the necklace or lanyard, and here we can attach on the standard tripod screw. It's powered by 3 AAA batteries that are easy to remove and easy to put back in. It also has USB-C port that can be used for firmware updates if you don't want to do it over Bluetooth, and also if you put in rechargeable batteries and you enable battery charging, when you put in the USB-C cable, it will charge your batteries. So you get the best of both worlds. You can quickly replace the batteries if you run out of them in the middle of the job, or you can simply just put device on charge every night, and in the morning it will be fresh and ready for you. Every single part on this device has been considered, thought through, designed, redesigned many times. So we believe that it will serve you for many years. It covers everything that you need in terms of incident light metering needs. We know you want to have a spot meter also, but we have to start somewhere. So it does illuminance metering, color temperature, tint offset, XY coordinates, spectrum, and for this sensor it does ambient exposure, flash exposure, and flicker. And of course, I forgot, this sensor also measures both flash and ambient exposure. So you can basically, whenever you're measuring in the exposure modes, you can switch between the two sensors, and that would be effectively equivalent to doing this. I will show you how to do that in the software. But basically, you can see the comparison. We are not trying to make any of the competitor products look bad. We love these also. We've used them ourselves for many, many years. We just thought that maybe it's good for the market to have some options also. And we like to do high quality products, and we thought that light meters is something that we can make some impact in. The last design goal, which I forgot to mention, was that the device has to be extremely fast. So we put the fastest processor family that you can put in this kind of low power device, and we still have a lot of headroom to optimize the speed. We will continue doing that with the firmware updates. So let me show you a little bit about the software. This is the first version of the software. Keep in mind that will be installed on the devices, on the first devices that will get shipped in about 2 weeks approximately. It's currently September 2nd, 2025, and then we will be shipping firmware updates probably every week, every 2 weeks, for quite some time, until we catch up with everything that we promised during the Kickstarter, and also everything that you will ask us to do once you start using it. So let's go into it. Just press the button and device is on. That's it. It's ready. It initialized the Bluetooth. You have the main mode screen. You can go through it like this. You can click, or you can just hold the button. For now this is fixed view, but in the next updates we will add an option to hide the modes that you don't use, or ability to rearrange them. So on the main screen, home screen, you see all the modes, and if you want to enter the mode, you press the green button and you enter the mode. You press the green button again, you go back to the menu. From the main screen you can enter the general settings. Here is the Bluetooth, nothing special, the usual Bluetooth stuff. Here we have an interesting setting that we haven't seen on other products. It's continuous measuring. Let me show you. Let's say that I go to Cine mode, for example, and I take a reading. Every time I press the button, it does a reading. I can also press and hold the button, and it will continue doing readings. But if I enable continuous measuring, I can just press the button and it will continue measuring by itself. And then I press it again and it will stop measuring. Here on the top you can see the indicator showing you which sensor is currently active and measuring. You can see in the Cine video mode we can switch between the wide angle and narrow angle option. I'm going ahead of myself. Let me go back to the general settings. Display backlight, very simple thing, obvious. Whenever you have a multi-choice option, you can actually simply go left or right to change it, or you can enter the submenu and change it like this, for example. Let's keep it on maximum, and auto option will dim your display backlight according to the ambient light conditions. Since we have 2 light sensors, we can use them in that sense. Battery type, it's good if you set this to the accurate battery type, because then you will see the battery life indicator more accurately, since different battery types have different discharge curves. And of course, if you set to rechargeable type, and if you have rechargeable batteries inside, and if you have battery charging enabled, you can basically plug it into the cable, and you can see that it is charging now. So full pack of completely empty AAA batteries with 1000 milliampere hours capacity should be charged in around 8 hours, something like that. Once this is charged, it will stop charging, and it will show you green icon. If you would put in alkaline batteries or lithium batteries, both of which are not intended to be recharged, and you can still try to recharge them, but there are safety mechanisms that will stop charging in about a second or two. So no worries, you cannot break the device in that sense. That's a very cool feature, because in that sense you get the best of both worlds. You can still replace, swap batteries on the middle of the set really fast, or you can recharge them when you get home and you're ready for the next day. So we're still in the first level of the general settings, and at the very bottom right now you can see feedback and support. You can always send us an email. We like to chat about potential new features. And then we have a second level, advanced settings. Here you can enable or disable opening last screen. So for example, right now when it's enabled, if I'm in Cine mode and if I turn it on, I'm back in Cine mode. If that setting would be disabled, the device would always start in the main menu. By the way, you've seen that when I restarted the device that the measured value disappeared here. This is something that will be fixed very soon. So all the user settings and all the last measurements and everything will be preserved between the power cycles. Even if you take out the batteries, we keep the last 100 measurements stored in details on the memory chip inside the device. Let's go back. So we've been in advanced settings. Here, auto power off, self-explanatory. Device turns off after some inactivity. Here you can tune exposure if you want to match it with some other light meters of yours or light meters of your friends. But each LeadDuo 1 unit is calibrated in production for both sensors. You can tune illuminance. You can see device info, serial numbers, etc. You can see regulatory info, and you can do factory restore. That's it about the general settings. I can show you, for example, how we can update the device. This is a bit old development version of the app. App is going to be uploaded to the App Store very soon, but we will just update it over the Bluetooth. Alternatively, if you want to update it over the computer, you would just put it in the bootloader mode, connect it via the cable to the computer, copy-paste firmware file onto it that you get from our website, and the update process will take like 10 seconds or something like that. But we can start the update here. So there's a new firmware update in the cloud, and we say install, and the video shows you how to put the device in the bootloader mode. Basically, you press the two buttons and you press the power button and you start the device in the bootloader mode. You see you can update it via Lite app, via Bluetooth, or via USB. So in the next step, we press the blue button, and here the device will automatically start the update. The update takes about 2 minutes to complete, and I will do a fast forward here so we don't have to wait 2 minutes. So, firmware successfully installed. That's it. I just turn the device back on and it's here, and then it also reconnects. So inside the app, you'll be able to change a bunch of things. You'll be able to change the app theme, send us ideas, feedback, have a link to the manual and how to use, etc. the device. And here you will see your connected devices. You'll be able to change the device settings straight from the app, and here in the center you will see the last measurements, and later we will continue adding functionality, so you'll be able to fully control your device remotely as if you would hold it in your hand. So you can leave your device somewhere far away. We have more than 40 meters of range on a Bluetooth, and you'll be able to fully control it. And here on the last tab, right now, when we launch, there will be a roadmap written for both app and LitOS on the device. And once we catch up with the core features, this will become notes. So you'll be able to see the last 100 measurements, and you'll be able to download them to your phone, and you'll be able to organize them and attach notes, attach photos, etc. So you'll be able to store your measurements in scenes or folders, etc. And you'll also be able to use and connect multiple devices at once. So let's go to the individual modes. First of them is just illuminance, nothing special for now. Measures lux. You can switch the unit to foot candles. It will immediately recalculate. We want to add an option to enable averaging. So, you know, if you would do continuous measurement, it would show you the current measurement, but then at the same time it will also continue calculating you the average value of that whole continuous measurement block. And of course we can add more. It's not a problem. There is one note many of you asked for. In each mode, in every single mode, we will soon add an option to show other values also. So you'll be able to enable additional display in slightly smaller numbers of color temperature or XY coordinates or EV or something like that. So basically you don't have to jump between the modes. We have Cine mode. You see, with the 4-way button, we just move between the fields where you set something. Here you can click, or you can hold the button to change between the values. It's very easy and very fast. And here now we are measuring the exposure. I still have continuous measuring on. Maybe for the purpose of this demo I can disable it. So as you can see, the values recalculate. Simple as that. You can choose different measuring angle. So you would use this sensor instead of this one. For example, if you would want to measure contrast or difference between the contrasts. You can dial in the offset in EVs. You can also insert ND filter compensation, and you would see this combined value here on the top, so you will not forget that you have something dialed in. There's a bunch of sub modes or sub measuring screens missing here. What we want to add is camera target screen or camera target mode. So you basically set all of these four values here, and then you basically measure the difference to that target value, and you can express that difference in ND filters, for example. And the other feature that we really want to do is to measure two different points, make two different measurements, and then you would see a difference between them in exposure value. So that will come soon. We know that that's high priority, but for now this is the starting point. Yeah, you can choose different EV steps, and in each parameter step list we have all the standard things. If you want more, we can add more. We can also make it possible to add your own, for example. That's not a problem. Next mode, photo video, very similar. Very similar things missing also. And here in the parameter steps you can choose between the photo or video steps. Video steps have some HD Cine or HD video shutter speeds, for example, that are not common in photo modes on cameras. And in the photo video mode we also want to add exposure difference measuring submode, where you can use it with either of the sensors. Next one is photo flash. Here you select the ISO and shutter speed, and you measure the aperture and the flash ratio. And luckily I have flash here next to me, so I can just do this. I can flash it. You can see, flash it again. I can go to flash analysis screen. I can actually see, for example, the duration. I can increase to the maximum power, for example. You can see the T01 and T05 durations. Those will be familiar for you who are photographers. I can stay on the screen, I can press the measure. You see that the device is waiting for the flash to happen. Yeah, this was new measurement, but I didn't change anything with the setting. That's why the curve is the same. I changed the settings now. Here it is. I can do the measurement again. I can keep making the flash shorter, shorter, shorter. And of course, you will also see that, let's say, this is the current flash, very weak, 15% of the exposure was contributed by the flash. If I do this again and I increase the flash power, you will see percentage of the flash is increasing as well, the aperture value. So I go now to maximum. Yeah. Okay, I can show a quick demo comparison with Sekonic. Here it is. Of course, they are not going to show the same because I'm just shooting my flash in the ceiling, but let's say, no worries, we've tested this very well. And I can go to flash analysis, for example. Here we have flash analysis, Sekonic. We see we have 50 microseconds. Let's go higher up. Let's do this again. Like this. T01. 5, 6, 7, 5, 8. We know that we're measuring a bit more accurate, but it doesn't matter. They both serve the purpose well. Next one is color temperature. Basically just measuring the kelvins and tint offset. And here also you will be able to enable display of different units, whatever you will pick, you know, EV, aperture, lux, blah blah blah. And we also want to add the subscreen where you can measure two different light sources, and it will show you what filters to put over the second light source, and you'll be able to choose a brand of the filter. Right now the only thing that you can choose is tint units, so DUV, or if you choose color correction index or color correction filter number or plus minus green, it will basically show you what to put on the light to fix the tint on neutral. And if you put it on DUV, delta UV, it will show you the measured value. Let's go on. This is simplified color measuring screen, and I can show you spectrum, for example. So taking a measurement, I have some LED lights here. I can do a measurement of, I can change, I'm not sure if it's visible, let me disable this light. Let me do it even warmer. I can actually try this one also. Let's see. Sekonic C7000. Okay, I have to do a dark calibration. Here you can go up and down. You can see different values, and we will add more of them. You'll be able to add more of them. Right now you can just choose the luminance and tint unit. Let's go here. Let's take a measurement. Oops, I have to disable this. Now we're ready to measure. So I can do a measurement, and you see we're like 50 kelvins apart, and I can do, they're both basically 0 DUV, and you can see the chromaticity coordinates and lux value here also. I know that this unit that I'm using is not actually calibrated. I found that out today, but I didn't want to delay this demo. So the actual unit will be more accurate. Let's go back to daylight source. Let's try to measure again. I suspect there will be a bit more discrepancy, like 100 kelvins more discrepancy between the two, because this one is not correctly calibrated. But you get the idea. And like I can show you, I have this funny little tungsten bulb here. Let's go to the spectrum. Let's measure the spectrum of the, so here let's do it like, it's hard to make the light even, but I want to show you. Yeah, this is more like it. I want to show you the spectrum shape comparison. And we will add an option to display more precise or fine spectrum. The current accuracy of the of the color and spectral metering is very good. We did a test. We will link it in the video description at the bottom. Check it out. We measured 15 or 18 different fixtures like Vortex, Astera tubes, ARRI, HMIs, and a bunch of other things. at different settings using different filters, etc. And we compared it to this unit of Sekonic C7000, brand new. So we are shipping the first level of accuracy now, and then with LithOS 2.0 we aim to push up the accuracy of our measurements even further, to be even closer, even though we are like within 3% on most lights compared to this one, which is plenty for the production use cases. We have some clever mathematics to improve our calculations up our sleeve, but we need time to implement that, so that will come end of this year. But we are committed to making this device better for you every month. So you buy it once, but you get updates all the time. What's missing here is flicker mode. Is in progress. It will come. And what's missing also is Snake. We know that many of you are waiting for Snake. We will add it too. That's it. It's one of the most fun light meters that you will ever use. And we believe and hope that it will serve you very well. We thank you once again for your patience and for your trust with all the pre-orders. Your support and belief enabled us to make this product a reality, and we take this responsibility very seriously because we want to deliver on our promise. So thank you so much for your support and patience. You will hear from us very soon if you place the pre-order. We are flying currently next week to our production partner, and we are staying there until first assembled and packed devices will be ready to be shipped to you. Thank you so much once again, and wish you a great rest of your day.